when some scholars claim you don't need to do taqleed, you don't need to do all of this, they're putting your akhirah in danger in regards to their gender. Hormone changes, puberty stoppers, so on and so forth. So these are some of the concerns, and hopefully we have to get into local government, state government, and federal government.
Sheikh Ibrar, another hot issue is the issue of moon sighting. It gets really hot, especially during month of Ramadan.
And Islam encourages questions.
Yes.
Islam encourages questions. But the worst part is when you have no knowledge and you criticize. This is bad.
Yeah.
This is not a good quality. It's a reality that depression exists, anxiety exists, and there are different, probably we could say different factors.
So these personalities not only disrespect Sunni sacred personalities or beliefs, but they disrespect our Maraje as well, our Mujtahids.
Yes.
So what do you think? What is the role of Maraje? And can you provide some references from Quran and Hadith about the validity of institution of Marjiyat or Marja?
Yes, it's, to be honest, Marjiyat is really important within Shia Islam right now. We can prove it intellectually, we can prove it through Holy Quran, we can prove it through traditions. When it comes to intellect, it's very simple, it's very obvious, it's self-evident that if I need to do something, if I need help in different fields of my life, I usually look for the expert of that field. If I'm sick, if my car has broke down, any other problem that I have, I usually go to an expert. This is how we live. And even within experts, if someone tells you that this expert is the best among all of the experts, you're going to choose that expert. It's within us.
A specialist.
Yes. The specialist, even within a specialist, you say like, if someone tells you, someone who is reliable, who says that this specialist is the best among all of them, you're going to go to that specialist. Why? Because we care about ourselves. It's within us. We love ourselves. We love our benefit, our happiness, our health. I don't get it for some people. How is it possible you're putting your akhirah in danger by just following anyone, anything? Within this life, within this world, if I'm not taking that risk for my car, for my health, how are you taking that risk for your hereafter? So you have to go to the expert. This is how we live. We have within Holy Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Fas'alu ahla dhikr in kuntum la ta'alamun. Go to the people that knows. Ask them if you don't know. This is something very logical. Holy Quran invites people that if you don't know something, go to the people who knows. And within traditions, we have to, let me just for my brothers and sisters, talk about this beautiful tradition of Imam Hassan Askari alayhi salam, our 11th Imam.
An authentic hadith.
Yes. It's a long hadith. I'll just narrate part of it because it's a long hadith. You guys can look into this hadith. You guys can find it too. So the hadith, it's Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. فأما من كان من الفقهاء صائنا لنفسه حافظا لدينه مخالفا لهواه مطيعا لأمر مولاه فللعوام أن يقلدوه. So here, in short and very precise translation, nice and easy, Imam Hassan Askari Islam says what? That people needs to follow the fuqaha, the people who are learned in religion. They are not just learned. On top of it, there needs to be what? They need to be people, for example, sani'an li nafsih. They need to have control on themselves. حافظا لدينه. They need to protect their religion. مخالفا لهواه. They need to oppose their self-desires. And مطيعا لأمر مولاه. They need to be obedient to the commands of master, imams, and Allah. And Imam says, فَلِلْعَوَامِ أَن يُقَلِّدُوهُ. The people, they need to follow these fuqaha. We have many traditions like this. This is just one example that I've given. So when some scholars claim you don't need to do taqleed, you don't need to do all of this, they're putting your akhirah in danger. And when a mujtahid becomes a mujtahid, he needs to go through a lot of studies, a lot of subjects, from theology, history, Arabic grammar. It's really hard. Usul, fiqh, ilm al-rijal, hadith, philosophy, so many other subjects that we study in Hossaini. They have to go through all of these subjects to get to one verdict. You need to have a lot of potential to get to this level. Some have studied 40, 50 years. Some of the traditions that we have come across once in our life, they've looked at it tens, hundreds of times. So we need to remember that. Why would I put myself in danger? Why would I put my hereafter in danger? When I'm not putting this life in danger, I shouldn't. I need to be smart. Either I become mujtahid myself or follow someone who is an expert. Very simple.
Yeah, so when these figures, they discredit or disrespect our Maraje on social media and on their channels, what do you think, what are their motives and what are their agendas when they
Probably
do so?
There are different motives, Brother Ahmed. Could be they have some kind of grudge. This is one problem. Maybe they have not really understood the religion of Islam. Because some of these scholars, they themselves have worked hard in Qom, in Hossaini.
Mm-hmm.
And they claim that these people, the common people, they don't have to do taqleed. Baba, yourself, you have studied in Hossaini for years. People cannot translate one holy verse of Quran. And you're talking about them finding the rulings of Allah. There are thousands of ahadith in Arabic. The Holy Quran is in Arabic. Even if someone says, all right, you need to look at the translation, you're doing taqleed of the translator.
Yes.
Even we have different types of translations. And some of the translations, they are not accurate enough. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's unfortunate. Some of the scholars, they come up, sometimes it's grudge, sometimes it's ego, sometimes different. Sometimes they're truly working for the wrong side.
Even though they are muqallid themselves, they're doing taqleed in some way or the other.
We constantly do taqleed.
Yes.
In our life.
Yes. Sheikh Ibrar, in one of the majlis last night, you mentioned some important points about some laws that have passed from the Australian Parliament. These laws go against our Islamic or cultural beliefs. It's really a challenging situation now. What do you think, being a community, what are our responsibilities, and do we have any rights to fight these laws, and how we can fight them?
The responsibility of parents are huge in this regards. That the mothers, they have to do a lot of tarbiyah now, from a very young age, from the start. So parenting does not start from when the child gets at the age of 10 or 8. It starts from the start, when they are born. And slowly we build attachment and move forward. Now, a few laws that I mentioned in one of my lectures. One was conversion therapy, that it has been passed. And it's a law now. And brothers and sisters themselves, they can look into it. It's a law that will affect us, but it's already done. And I can only suggest the parents to build their bond and relationship with their kids, and hopefully we'll come out of this problem nice and safe. Other than that, there's another bill. It's in Parliament. in New South Wales. I'm not sure about the Victoria, the equality bill, where a person can legally change their biological gender on their documents, and there's some other parts into it. But for example, these kind of laws, if they get passed, the problem will be, for example, one problem will be that, the public places, our sisters have to use, the public places with the males. These are some of the problems. Or, for example, another problem could be, if this bill gets passed, is the child, without their parents' consent, they can, do some medical treatment in regards to their gender. Hormone changes, puberty stoppers, so on and so forth. So these are some of the concerns, and hopefully in New South Wales, this equality bill doesn't get passed. And some of the brothers are working hard in New South Wales. They are drafting, making different emails for the believers, so they have to send to their MPs showing their concerns that this is the bill, and if this gets passed, what about religious freedom, so on and so forth. On top of that, we have to get into local government, state government, and federal government. Why? Because at the end of the day, our voice needs to be heard, and in regards to their gender, hormone changes, puberty stoppers, so on and so forth. So these are some of the concerns, and hopefully happening.
Yes.
We are humans like other humans. We are citizens like other citizens. We have rights like other people. So let's utilize it. Let's use it to the benefit of society as a whole. So there's a lot of responsibilities in this regards, that brothers who are good at topics in regards to politics, social studies,
Social problems, yeah.
yes, they have to come forward and help out the community, because as a team we can solve the problems, and they have to fulfill their duties.
Yes. Sheikh Ibrar, it's another sensitive topic of politics.
Yes.
What do you think, what politics is from Islamic point of view? What is politics, and do we have any politics in Islam? And what should be our community's role?
Yes, without doubt,
in politics?
we have politics in Islam. The politics of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him and his family. Politics of Amir al-Mu'mineen. We believe in these politics. There is on truth, on justice, and these are the values that should exist within a politics. Politicians need to have these characteristics, and the truth, and justice, giving each person their rights. And Islam, yes, it has politics. We cannot deny it. And if someone denies it, I don't know what they have studied. Other than that, when it comes to our responsibilities, we have to somehow slowly, as I've said before, get into different departments, get into different fields, and work for the betterment of the community and society as a whole. We are part of Australia now, alhamdulillah, and we have to work for the betterment of Australia. And this can only be possible if we have people within the parliaments. That's possible. And we have the potentials within our youth, within our people. We have the potentials to see politicians, inshallah, in future.
Yeah, they have to represent our sentiments, our desires as a community, and to preserve our Islamic and cultural ideologies and beliefs.
Yes,
Very
religious
important.
freedom is very important. We live in a multicultural society. So from one hand, if there are other laws, from the other hand, we need to take care of the other freedom, religious freedom too.
Sheikh Ibrar, another hot issue is the issue of moon sighting. It gets really hot, especially during month of Ramadan, and when we are trying to sight the crescent for Eid.
I know it's always a problem.
Yeah. So the questions arise, public, ask the questions why there are differences of opinion between Maraje about the moon sighting.
Yes.
Why they don't issue a unified fatwa, and so that there's no division in the community in terms of celebrating these events. So tell us about this issue of moon sighting. Why there is difference of opinion among Maraje, and what is the solution of this?
Yes. So I think the solution to this problem is bringing awareness within the believers that how a marja gets to a verdict. We need to build our knowledge, because this difference of day exists in Qum even. We have offices of Maraje live there. Even there we have sometimes different days. Why is it like that? Because each marja, they study Holy Quran and all of the other subjects that we have to go through. And then based on their knowledge, they drive the rulings of Allah from Holy Quran, from the other sources. And each marja, he drives with total honesty, whatever he has learned. And he knows all of these arguments that we have, about unity, so on and so forth.
Divisions.
They know all of this. They cannot give fatwa out of their pocket.
It's not their personal desire.
Yes. And trust me, all of the arguments that we put forward, they have looked into it in much greater depth. And some of our arguments are very shallow. It's funny. Maraje, they've studied for years and they've looked into this in greater depth than all of us. They have students, they have people that visit them. They are completely up to date. And they have difference of opinion because they're different people. They're different people, and with all honesty, they give a fatwa. Not on base someone's desires, on base what Allah has said it. That's why we need to see what my marja has said. Firstly, you need to choose a marja. And then when you follow that marja, you need to see what are his rulings on this matter. Different marja have different rulings on it. Based on that, sometimes the difference of day occur. And it's completely natural, guys. Come on. We live in a society that we need to accept difference of opinion. When it comes to Maraje, just one day here and there, we completely blast out on Maraje. And I've seen some people who has less knowledge, who are ignorant, and they criticize Maraje, not knowing that who these Maraje are. They are the most learned people in this field.
Now, recently it's happened in one single household that a wife follows another marja, husband follows another marja.
Yes.
So if they celebrate Eid on 2 different days, for example, do you think it's a good thing?
No,
people criticize it.
Yes, you're right. Some people say they look at it from from a level that they want to celebrate, for example, on the same day. But we need to see what Allah wants. Allah wants us to follow a marja, and the criteria for following a marja is there. Once you have accepted a marja as your a specialist, then you need to see what he says. Now, one marja, for example, says the moon sighting happens with this naked eye only.
Yes.
Another marja has come to this conclusion that you can use equipment. Sometimes between Maraje, the difference is, for example, some says horizon, the definition is this. For some marja,
unity of horizon.
Yes. The ufuq is different. You just need to look at your marja and follow it. Simple as that. Sometimes it happens to be the same day. Sometimes it happens to be on 2 different days.
Yes.
That's completely fine. We need to get to this awareness, get to this maturity level, I personally think, that accept this how it is and just live a normal life in a sense.
Islam is, the meaning of Islam is submission,
It is.
submitting before the rulings and commands of Allah.
Yes.
So when the Marja issues any fatwa, it's based on the rulings and commands of Allah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So as you follow and submit to the commands of Allah, you follow.
I personally think some of the brothers, when they question such rulings, they don't truly have trust on these experts. They have to build that understanding that who these personalities are first.
Yes.
And then after that, they will realize that what this ruling means. I think it's unfortunately people are not coming to mosques, people are not coming to lectures.
Yes.
So they learn these rulings. Once they learn it, it won't happen. In some other communities, they don't have this problem. I've seen it. Within our community,
there are no fights, no arguments there.
They realize that these are the rulings. Different Maraje have different rulings based on different interpretation of the Holy Quran and the other sources.
Yes.
They have come to this conclusion and they accepted it.
Yes.
And they just follow nice and easy. But within our community, because there's people lacking Islamic knowledge, they have this issue all the time. And they forget about it. On the night of Eid, it happens again. And they forget about it, and then the night of it happens again.
Yes.
Once for all, come to masajid, come to lectures, get to know what your Marja says, and see why are the difference of opinion. As I've said, different definition of horizon, and different definition of with how we see the moon sighting.
Yeah, so sorry to say, but the problem is that most of us are just part-time Muslims,
Yes,
I say for myself as well, we always try, no one is perfect, we try to improve ourselves.
Yes.
But most of us, we are part-time Muslims,
and
we are not
Islam
aware.
encourages questions.
Yes.
Islam encourages questions. But the worst part is when you have no knowledge and you criticize. This is bad.
Yeah.
This is not a good quality. It's good to question. The school of Imam Jafar as-Sadiq alayhi salam is open to questions. But when you criticize the Maraje, that's something that we need to be careful of.
Yes. Sheikh Ibrar, you studied in Swinburne University at Melbourne in health sciences, and your major was in psychology. What do you think, what are some of the main mental health issues that we face in Australia? And what do you think, what are the causes of those mental health issues, and what are the solutions or cure for them?
As you know, that probably a few years back, I spoke about mental health issues for 4 lectures it was.
It's a wide topic.
Yes, it's
just
a lot.
Briefly.
Yes. So when we look within our youth, I'm talking about youth, maybe there's signs of depression within our youth, signs of anxiety, especially depression. So depression is a state that you feel really down, hopelessness, helplessness, sad. You don't want to do anything.
No motivation.
But sometimes we have these kind of feelings. But it becomes a problem when you can't do your normal daily stuff. So that is when it becomes a problem. So if that's a problem, without doubt, we need to seek help. It's a reality that depression exists, anxiety exists, and there are different, probably we could say different factors why is this happening within our youth. It could be social media, peer pressure, relationship, parents, problems within the house. There's so many factors that could influence and that could be a trigger for depression. We just need to see person to person. And there's nothing wrong with seeking experts' advice. So if someone's going through depression or anxiety or any other disorders, they can talk to a sheikh so they can guide them from Islamic perspective too, or any other psychologist. Hopefully they will guide them in a manner that it will not go against the Islamic values too. So just be careful of that. But if someone's trying to help someone out, please do not tell them that you have weak iman. It's going to make it worse for that person. Some of the youth, if they're going through this problem, usually our parents tell them like, you have weak iman. These sentences doesn't help them out. We have to act maturely and look at the problem and try to solve it. Yes.
Yeah. In those countries where we belong to, actually from Pakistan, Afghanistan, there are so many mental health issues, but they don't get identified. We don't know that we are sick or someone is mentally sick. So
yes, people have this question. People sometimes ask, our parents have lived without psychologists, without these problems that we have right now.
Yes.
But my answer to those people are, our parents or our grandparents, they've lived a very stressful life, some of them.
Yes.
They didn't have this option. Now, if I have this option, I should take it. We need to make the quality of our life better. They lived a stressful life with depression, with anxiety, with other disorders. Yes, they lived their life. Our parents or people who live in these countries, they go through these problems, they grow up, they live. But at the end of the day, the quality of their life is bad. Stressful life with different traumas. But if I have such options here, I need to make my life better. Bring in the quality, bring in happiness, tranquility. If I have the option, take it. But in saying all of that, a believer needs to remember this, that Allah is going to test him. Allah is going to test him. But in saying all of that, again, when a youth goes through a problem, do not tell them that you have weak iman, you're this, you're that. These comments...
You're sinful.
Yes, you're sinful. These comments, these sentences will make this situation worse.
Even worse, yeah.
Yes.
So always seek guidance and help from the professionals or experts in their fields, especially
There's
in terms
nothing
of
wrong with it.
Mental health.
And I request all of the community, if someone's seeking a psychologist or counseling helps, please do not title them something. Sometimes these titles stops parents for seeking these helps.
Yes.
As soon as if someone goes to a psychologist or to a scholar in regards to their mental health, people give them the title of Deonashuda. He's become or she's become psychotic.
Mental, yeah.
These titles are not haram. It is haram without doubt.
Sure.
And it's normal if someone goes to a psychologist or seeking help in regards to mental health, it does not make them mentally sick. It does not make them deona in our words. It doesn't. It's just sometimes normal problems. We seek guidance and it solves and alhamdulillah, move on.
Yes. Apart from mental health issues, unfortunately, there is a rise in relationship issues, especially in our youth. When they get married, we see that there have been cases of separations and divorce, unfortunately. What do you think in our community? What are the reasons of these separations or divorces?
Because our lifestyle has changed, Ahmed. Our lifestyle has changed, and those changes have brought problems
with them.
Yes. I think it's all about awareness. Inshallah, me, myself, I'm working on marriage course, and we need to know each other. Every gender has specific traits and qualities, and then person to person, every person differs. We need to understand one another. What are the rights of women? What are the rights of men? Why do we even get married? What's the purpose of it? Why is there so much emphasis on getting married or motherhood? Inshallah, hopefully, as a scholar, as an Islamic student and other scholars, they work on these topics, practical.
Yes.
A solution needs to be given. Practical solutions. That way, inshallah, it will work. It will work. The divorce ratio will come down. But until that time, it's unfortunate, even in our schools. One of my teachers, he used to criticize some of the Iranian schools. They say in Iran, we have subjects that are taught, and the youth doesn't need those subjects all their life. They will not come across those subjects ever. But some of other subjects that we do need it within our life, we don't have that in our high school. Management, self-control, ethics,
anger management,
how to have a good, healthy marriage life, how to
avoid family violence.
All of these topics that needs to be educated either in high school or after high school. But we don't have these topics within our schools or uni, anywhere else. That's why we have these problems. So, inshallah, more awareness. The youth needs to research. They need to do a lot of reading, studying in these topics. So they understand that once they are getting married to someone, they need to understand who that person is. What are the traits of that person?
How to choose a spouse.
So these are the questions.
The qualities
what qualities I need to look for.
Yes.
So these are some of the questions. And how to deal with the problems. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to have problems.
Yeah, no one's life is perfect.
Yes. And you cannot find two people exactly the same mentality, with the same mentality. You're going to find different mentalities. So it's all about, again, how to solve problems. Yes. And especially seeking professionals' help, not parents' help.
Yes.
Sometimes it becomes a problem within marriage. We seek help from someone who does not know how to solve problems.
So unnecessary intervention from family members, it can cause a lot of issues.
Yes. Usually what happens is this, Ahmad Raza. If there's a marriage problem happening, if that brother comes to me and talks about it, I do not usually tell them that go to my parents. They will solve their problem. Because I'm not sending it to them. I'm not referring them to my parents. Why? Because I know they're not professionals. They're not experts.
Yes.
But when it comes to my own problems, really complicated problems, I refer to my parents. And out of the love that they have, sometimes they give wrong advice.
Yeah, based on mainly on emotions and
their experiences. They give sometimes wrong advice, and then it becomes a problem, and then we see divorce. And sometimes the worst case is when they have children. So there's a lot of studies happen. The children that goes through this trauma of parents fighting, divorce, they have problems when they grow up.
So it's all our youth, especially those who are planning to get married or those who are already in a married relationship. Stay tuned for Raja's intensive course on how to improve your relationship and how to, live a
selecting a spouse,
healthy married life.
Yes,
definitely. We are really looking forward to it. So, inshallah, let us know when you're bringing it in Melbourne, especially. We'll offer to our community. One last question. In the beginning, we discussed Hossa, or Islamic Seminary Studies in Qom, Iran. Do you have any ongoing programs where you can offer students who are wishing to pursue Islamic studies, take them to a study tour to Qom, Iran, and let them know the experience?
Yes, currently we are running a short intensive course for youth age 16 to 30 for girls and boys. So this is the third year we are running it.
Yes.
So 2 successful, alhamdulillah, events have taken place. And this is our third year. And it's really good, alhamdulillah. It's for 3 weeks. So we have classes, we have activities, and all of the classes are in English. We cover topics such as epistemology, anthropology, knowing God, eschatology, all of these really good topics. And all of the teachers are, alhamdulillah, qualified, and they teach in English. And on site, we do ziyarah, we have activities, fun activities, swimming, go-karting, you name it. Hotel, food is good. And you're going to find like-minded people. Last few years that we have done this course, people come from different cities, Perth, Melbourne, Sydney. And right now, they are friends, even though there's one's living in Perth, one's living in Sydney, Melbourne. They're friends, alhamdulillah. And it's a good circle. And they get to see the Hossa a little bit. We spend time in Mashhad, we spend time in Qom, we visit scholars. And as much as possible, we have made it fun. At the same time, there's learning involved. Yes. So this is that, alhamdulillah, we are running, and hopefully the youth will enjoy it.
So to all youth who wish to join the next study tour, reach out to Sheikh Ibrar Mohammadi. They've got an exciting team. Inshallah, join this fruitful tour, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So thank you very much, Sheikh Ibrar Mohammadi.
Thank you for having me.
You've come from Sydney.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much, and really we found it a really valuable discussion, and we hope that all our viewers and listeners also benefited from this fruitful discussion. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share, and submit your comments. Give us feedback on how we can improve on our upcoming podcast episodes. We do upload our audio contents on Spotify and on iTunes, Apple Podcast. You can always access them on those platforms as well. So in the end, thank you so much for joining with us, and until next episode, inshallah, take care everyone. See you then, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum.